So let's talk about the learning activities for the course. The first are the STs, which is short for strategic thought. You're going to see this is a series of assignments. Some of them are written papers, and some are actually videos where you're going to have to record a video segment and upload it for me to look at. And what I'm going to ask you to do in the STs is to take a strategic question and then answer it. Here's specifically what I want you to do, or what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to take that undergraduate and graduate level understanding you've gotten from reading the textbook, watching the lectures, reading the additional handouts, and then apply it to a very real-world question. You're going to see in many cases your task was select a company that illustrates a good or bad example of something and then defend it. You'll see in the STs there's a pretty tight limit as to how long the document can be, and I will do a word count to ensure that you're inside of that word count to make sure that you've got sufficient heft, but you're not compensating with your for your writing ability by writing a lot. So it's going to be to pack things in, get the thoughts across in a concise topic. And one of the tools that I'm going to make available to you in this course is a subscription to the Wall Street Journal. Of course, pricing changes from time to time, so I'm not going to say the price, or I'm not going to guarantee the price, but thus far, the Wall Street Journal is offering the opportunity to have students subscribe for 15 weeks for $15 or $1 a week. What that amounts to is like 17 cents per Wall Street Journal, which is about a 75% discount off of the rack price. So what you're going to find is very helpful about the Wall Street Journal is it'll give you a chance to go in and research the information you're going to want for discussion questions and the strategic thought articles. So I, by no means do I require you to subscribe to the Wall Street Journal, but I think you're going to find it's interesting, and you're going to see as we go through that I'm drawing a lot of the discussion questions, for example, directly from the Wall Street Journal. That's one of the things I love about this class is I don't have to talk about what happened in 1879. I can talk about what happened 3 months ago and teach the class right out of the Wall Street Journal, because all the major concepts that we're going to talk about in this class, I can find articles that illustrate that in the Wall Street Journal, and I'll talk about that more in a little bit. So those are the STs. Next are the discussion questions. This is where I'm trying to get some of that interactive debate going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll out a topic. The example I have in the explanation, and incidentally there's detailed explanations on all of these in the D2L material as well. But in the example I give you, I researched this topic back in the summer of 2014, and that was, has Facebook stock peaked? And incumbent in that question is basically, have investors overvalued Facebook's future, and as the future of Facebook gets rolled out, it's not going to be as good as what people have thought it was going to be. And so you just throw that statement out there, and then you see what happens. And you're going to, in the example I give you, one student who said, oh yeah, I definitely think Facebook stock has peaked, and they lay out a rationale for that. And then I have another simulated student post, and they go, well, yeah, I hear what the student one is saying, but I see these other factors and I see it a little bit differently. So what I'm trying to get with the DQs is a little bit of a discussion and where people take different ideas. So you can call it a discussion, a debate, whatever. For each DQ, you're going to have to make 2 postings. And again, this is explained in detail. But I don't want to limit you to 2. You can make more. I hope you find some of these materials so engaging that you're going to want to keep posting. But I want to make it very clear, this is not a game where you have to do 17 posts to get a good grade. You have to do 2 posts. 2 outstanding posts would be a perfect grade. 3 posts would be an grade. So it's not about volume. It's about the quality of the posting and the quality of the strategic thought. The final element I'll discuss on this video is the exams. You're going to, again, if you go into the material, you'll see that the essay questions for the exams are all posted in advance. And truly, if you could answer all of the questions, closed book, once you've researched them, on all those essay questions, I will have done a great job of teaching you, and you will be a very worthy graduate of this course. So the way the testing works is I have a series of potential essay questions available to you, and then we'll select a limited subset of questions from that master question list, and then you're going to have to answer those questions in a closed book fashion. In other words, you're going to be allowed to research them in advance, but not have reference to your notes when you're actually taking the exam. One aspect of the exam that happens, this is part of it too, is I'll always have one additional essay question that was not on your list of prospective essay questions, and it's almost always a current events article out of the Wall Street Journal where I'm asking you to apply a concept. Now, I guarantee you that if you have prepared for the questions that are on that list, you will have looked at the material you need to answer that hidden or surprise question that's typically based on the Wall Street Journal. One other point about the testing, it will be proctored. If you're in the Wichita Falls area, you'll see on the schedule that I've already got dates set when the test will be given. And that's just me in a classroom giving it to you, actually in a computer lab giving it to you the old-fashioned way. Well, what if you're not in Wichita Falls, or you can't come to Wichita Falls, or that time won't work for you? Then you're going to have to go to another proctored facility. Obviously, the MSU Testing Center will be available. And there are any number of online options. And again, I'm not going to blurt out names right now because over the next few months, the best proctoring option may change. But if you're not going to be able to make the Wichita Falls testing, start emailing me a couple of weeks in advance so that we understand how you're going to take the test, and I can approve that proctoring service. And when I say approve it, I mean check it out and go, yep, that'll work. And make sure that whoever needs the material for you to take the exam has the material. In the final intro video, I'm going to be talking about the business strategy game.